See it, stream it, skip it. This is where JJ Gordon tells you what to see in the theater, what to stream at home, and what to skip all together.
I want to start with an unfortunate circumstance in this See It, Stream It, or Skip It, which is I do not have a C for you this week. There is no new movie that is opening that I think is worth your time. That being said.
Ouch.
I know. And here's the problem. They do not know how to market a movie to a mom. Moms are the forgotten demographic. And here's the issue. Because there is a mom movie opening this weekend, but this mom movie assumes that you want to watch 4 amazing actresses make a sequel to a movie that nobody really liked in the first place, but they'll shove it down your throat because they'll be like Diane Keaton and Jane Fonda and Candice Bergen and Mary Steenburgen. They all belong together. Book Club, The Next Chapter. Do you know what pulping is? Have you ever heard that term before?
Pulping?
Pulping. So if you have a book that doesn't sell well and they ship it all back to the to the publishing company, they pulp your book. They essentially put it into a giant vat and soak it and then mix it slowly until it turns back into like paper pulp. They should have done that to this movie.
Oh no.
These are some of
the review brutal.
These are some of the best actresses.
I was going to say this talent is top notch.
I liked the first Book Club movie enough. It was fine. I clearly was not the demographic for it, but I did enjoy it. This one is just recycled garbage. So bad.
Wow.
Now, that being said, it's not as bad as Hypnotic, a Ben Affleck movie that I didn't even know was coming out until yesterday. Hypnotic is a movie about a guy who's a detective trying to solve the mystery of where his daughter went to, but there's mind-bending things and you don't know what reality is. No. Ben, you should have said no on this one. This is a movie for somebody. This is a movie that Ben Affleck should have made in his mid-20s and not where he is today. So that's a pass.
Wow, you are light and fluffy today.
And the last
you are rainbows
one,
and sunshine.
This one isn't even. I never do a skip on a streaming service until now. There's a movie with Jennifer Lopez that is on Netflix as well as being released to theaters called The Mother. And the premise of The Mother is J-Lo is an elite assassin who gives up her daughter because there's bad men after her. But 15 years later, she has to track down her daughter because they found her identity, and now the bad men are after her daughter. So, never having actually been a mother and raising a child, she now has to learn what it's like to be a mother as well as keep her daughter safe from assassins. This movie, oh boy.
Not good.
Not good. No wonder.
J-Lo and Ben in the same week?
I know. They're both
just
having
brutal.
at least now they can kind of, commiserate together, right? They can both be like, well, it wasn't a great Mother's Day for either of us.
I just want J-Lo and Ben to say, I was not part of making these reviews. Yeah. I still love you guys.
I know for sure that Ben Affleck will be really sad because I've been pretty complimentary. Like, I love his movies, Gone Girl, Air recently. I loved Air. I had a great time at that movie, but this one did not hit any notes for me. Now, that being said, I have one of the sweetest documentaries that I've ever seen in my life. And it's hard to even call it a documentary because there's actually people portraying significant figures in it. And the movie is called Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. And it chronicles Michael J. Fox's career as well as gives you completely unfiltered access to where his life is today. At 29, he was only 29 years old when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And he has become a spokesperson for Parkinson's, and people have really, followed his story. And in this, so it's a documentary about who he is today and the Michael J. Fox we got to know in things like Family Ties, Back to the Future, all of those things that he made, because he was, don't forget, like he was a good looking enough guy, but he wasn't a heartthrob in the 80s. And in the show Family Ties, they did something brilliant, which is they had 2 hippie parents. And so the way he rebels against his hippie parents is Alex P. Keaton, the character he played, is a staunch Republican. And so it's usually the reverse, right? Like you've got your strict parents and then you've got your hippie son, but it was such a clever role that catapulted him to stardom. And he talks about that. But then they have reenactment moments where people play Steven Spielberg in this. And so while it is a documentary and they have a lot of archival footage and they have current footage and interviews, you also get to see these moments that are reenacted. It's hard to watch and not get emotional during this.
I bet.
And to not think that he portrays himself almost as a guy that you knew and you just haven't caught up with in a very long time. And when you do, life has been pretty hard. His family is also very much a part of this documentary, and his family bring an entirely different feel to it. I love this. It's on Apple TV Plus. So if you got Apple TV Plus to watch Ted Lasso, do not let it lapse without watching still a Michael J. Fox movie, because it is wonderful. So good that you could watch it several times and get something different out of it every single time you watch it.
I really loved seeing all of his interviews. You know, he's been doing this interview circuit to promote this, and I really loved that. I mean, those have been really moving. So I can't imagine. I bet it's so good. It's a series. It's a docu-series.
It's a single episode.
Oh, it's a single.
Yep,
oh, okay.
Yep.
So it's just a documentary.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. And
sort of.
It is rated R, technically.
Sure.
So just so you know going into it, like there is some hard language that's a part of this, but nothing that seems gratuitous, nothing that what I would even say, if you've got a 12 or 13-year-old watching this, do not deprive them of it just because it's got an R rating on it. It's just a difficult subject matter. So if you're going to stream something this weekend, I think this would be a fine one to watch with mom, watch by yourself. It doesn't matter. Still, a Michael J. Fox movie is on Apple TV Plus. If you're going to skip something in the theaters, it might be Book Club, the next chapter. It might be Hypnotic. It might be The Mother starring J-Lo. Oh, boy. Wow. And so that's tough for me. So if you're going to see something, I've said it for the last 2 weeks. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. This is the Mother's Day movie for you this weekend. Go and check that one out. Rachel McAdams, Kathy Bates, wonderful job.